Do you know why you never see Mordekaiser on my stream? Because he's shit. So if you are playing him, you're playing one of the most useless top laners in the league. You're a Giga Chad for that. I respect it more.
Oh, brother. Could not say it better myself. Hey, beautiful. Welcome to my stupidest video. So, Mordekaiser. First of all, his looks are absolutely on point, and that's not what this video is about. My problem with this champion is that... Holy Jesus, his gameplay sucks some major ass! He is legit the only champion in the game that has it all. He's melee, he's scaling, he has very bad laning compared to top picks, but actually maybe legit every champion, except for this clown ass, who only Masochist would main. Almost zero dueling potential without at least 2 items when playing against human opponents.
Sheesh. See? Who said Mordekaiser was a difficult matchup? This shit is easy as fuck, boy!
I mean, this fish frog abomination with 1.5 items and -2 levels will do the same damage to you as you're doing to him with 2 items.
Retarded fish frogs.
What else? 0 CC, unless you're counting this E that you miss at least 70% of the time, and I double dog dare you to say that isn't the case.
If you right now are saying no, then I know for a fact you are lying, and lying is a sin, so I hope you enjoy burning in hell for that, you coward.
But on top of all of that, he has pretty pitiful wave clear too, combined with mediocre to no damage against anything but tanks unless you're going literally full AP. But if you do that, you're facing the dilemma of dying in 2 seconds, unless you're landing literally every Q and E on paper targets. And you won't, because this champion is a melee trash can with 0 mobility. But even with full AP, this champion has like 0 burst, since he's balanced around fighting tanks for trillions of years with HP shredding passive. As far as I can see, new season is going to make him more powerful. It's true, but will it change anything in fun department? And enjoyment from playing him? No, I don't think so. Because, yet again, his gameplay is pure trash. So, TLDR. Mordekaiser is a useless melee tank with 0 hard CC, 0 mobility and pitiful damage, whose whole gimmick can be countered by an item. Like legit, name me one reason to pick Mordekaiser over any of those, if you're aiming for the win and not just wanna main him for some fuck logic reason. I mean, even those 2 dumbasses looking more promising when you see them in your champ select. No? I'm not even gonna bother with something like this. Champion who does the same damage or even more with full tank build, mind you, but who is also all over the place and has CC. And this is unbelievable to me actually, since he was kinda busted pre-rework. Hey, but do you remember the time when he could do this? Holy Jesus, now this is some hardcore shit. Not saying that it was balanced or anything, but at least everyone was forced to respect his power. Current Mordekaiser is not respected by anyone, not even AD Yumi. Come on, be real. You're seeing this pick and instantly in your head like, oh yeah, free lane! Like legit, even another useless trash can Kayle can lane against him without even breaking a sweat. And Kayle is the worst champion in the game. At least in my stupid idiot opinion. And thus, I gathered all of the 2 of my remaining brain cells and came up with a rework to make this champion at least somehow fun to play. Now introducing
You are going to proceed.
version 2.0. First of all, I'm all for this champion not having any hard CC or mobility, but in return he should be turbo hardcore. And every single melee champion at least half of the range should bow before his, now blue for some reason, Iron Authority. And so the rework. Passive. No changes. It is already kinda busted as it is. Moving on. Q. Starting with, look man, I'm not asking for much, but when you're already having 2 AB items and still cannot one-shot caster minions, you know that there's something wrong here. Stupid bastard Victor just taking the entire wave in 1 second and level 9. I'm just saying. I mean, this guy is really struggling early game sometimes. And considering that he has no CC and no mobility, crazy idea, but I think it shouldn't be the case. So yeah. At first I wanted to add some sort of cleave after Q, like in this dumbest game from this dumbest champion.
Heavy damage and slows enemies in a large arc in front of Leoric, including double damage to enemy minions.
But as much as I wanna do it, I think it will be too busted. So let's just roll with this. Q now does slightly more AoE damage, but isolated target bonus is now slightly less. I mean, they did it to Atrix for the same goddamn reason, because he sucks at wave clearing, so I think that will do. Moving on. Second change. When Q is maxed out, it is now always hitting champions for extra damage. I am more than okay that he is slightly weaker early game, but after some time he should not care about anything and just...
I hope you're ready for what's coming next because it's going to be an absolute massacre. Omega Lol, I want to eat your souls. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I might seem mean, but I'm just trying to be competitive. I can't help it. It's in my blood. Wink.
You know? You feel me? What I'm saying is, my guy is losing duels even if he hits those isolated Qs sometimes. You're telling me that at level 11 something, you're either fighting only with your ult or not even bothering if enemy is perma standing in minion wave, abusing your obvious weakness? Get the hell out of here with this bullshit. So yeah, just like another no CC no mobility champion Ilaoi, who only needs to hit your E on you once to dramatically win the duel. Unsmaxed, his Q will now turbo bonk any unfortunate son of a bitch straight back to spawn for full damage that is written in this bullshit, even if there are like 100 trillion minions there. And don't forget that Mordekaiser's Q is in fact a skill shot that you can miss entirely, and outside his passive, Q is his only major source of damage.
Nice balls, bro.
What?
But wait, there is more. Now if it hits isolated champion, his W shield is instantly charged by an additional 15%. So you'll still have to think about this mechanic, and especially since you're fighting Mano M Manlet in your R pre-level 9. Huh? Cool, no?
Just, it's so bad. Oh god.
Well anyway, now W. This skill is legit almost useless till level 14 plus, when you're finally starting to become a real champion, who can even outduel some hard opponents. But only if they are tanks with mediocre damage. Maybe, just maybe. But pre-level 14, it's like a totally XD spell. For it to be effective, you need to constantly attack, and especially attack champions. And considering that his laning phase pre-9 is pretty pathetic, this shield is rarely above 50%. So here are my changes. First of all, healing part is now reduced by 25%, because having it at 45 will be a little bit too much with what I'm about to say. And so now, W shield generation is increased by 15% from all sources, so you can actually play with its full potential before minute 30. Yeah, I know, crazy. Also, on top of that, I want him to become truly goes where he pleases kind of champion, considering that, may I remind you, he has no CC and is a melee that can miss everything. So listen up, when the shield is on you, you are gaining bonus 25% tenacity at level 5 that persists for 2 more seconds after your shield is broken. So with mercs, if timed right, no pesky peasant mortal swine with their spammable stunlocks or slows should bother you. But wait, there is actually more! Now W will have a second passive, giving you, now get this, bonus armor from slain enemies and especially champions. Stacking infinitely, of course. And now W shield will also scale with armor. Why doing so? Well, but of course it's because...
Iron stands eternal.
Motherfucker!
Look man, There are champions in this game who profit from armor. There are champions who are into magic resist. This guy is literally a metallic husk who in the lore collects souls to make himself more powerful, and who also is making actual bricks from some of said souls to build his undead city. So why the hell he's not having a soul harvesting passive, I have no idea. Also, this ability is called Indestructible, so better buy this item or else, dummy. Well, actually at first I wanted for him to have AP from kills too, but that's already walking on thin ice of him becoming I buy only tank items, but still do shit tons of damage, dumbass champion. So, fuck that. Now next on the shopping block is E. The E cooldown is now slightly adjusted to make it a little bit more spammable mid to late game. Also, the passive is now gone. Why doing so? Because I actually bamboozled you that I won't change the passive, so I moved Magic Shred there. Now passive and his other abilities will shred 2% of magic resist every second until 20%. So the champion is now becoming AoE magic resist Black Cleaver. I mean, newsflash. Mordekaiser is not Darius. He's not about quick skirmishes, he's about prolonged battles when he's outsustaining his foes. And considering that, stacking Magic Pen makes a lot more sense than just insta-passive one. Okay, alright? And also because I want player to have an option of what to level next. And so, without being bound to a Mars Shred passive on your E, if you need more def and tenacity, then W is the most obvious choice. But if there are a lot of quick opponents, then perhaps E will be a better option. And also E gives better wave clear. So here's that. And now, moving on to the cherry on this cake of world-conquering necromancy and satanic rituals, which is of course his R. First of all, this ability is fucking stupid. It legit makes no sense. So this almighty Spectre Lord just teleporting you into the literal realm of death that he commands? And yet he can be easily stopped by terrain? Not to mention that enemy towers are attacking him in his own death realm? Just how idiotic is this? But wait, not idiotic enough, thought the developers.
You know what? This is, I wrote some garbage today. But you know what? Not dumb enough. I need to make it even more stupid.
And actually, this ultimate is programmed as if it has a CC ability, so QSS can instantly dispel it. Actually, many other things can just dispel it, except for clans. Why thank you, Riot Games, that at least a summoner cannot counter it. Hey, so do you remember those times when QSS could dispel Zed's ultimate by any chance?
Faker! What was that? Faker with a huge play, the QSS!
Hey, I've got a great idea. How about we'll make Camille's ult Q-accessible too? It's like legit almost the same spell, no? Like what is this barbarity? Are we in 2004 playing Dota version 572? And look at the amount of stupid restrictions on this spell. Olaf can just press R and instantly go out of it, but at least it's the ultimate of his. GP though can just press W. Jesus almighty Christ, who made this rework? A talking baboon? Any unstoppable effect, and I mean any, even those you've never even thought of, and it just goes on cooldown. Literally you have no ultimate.
That's how you counter Mord. That's the thing you do. You ult and then you W.
Oh, that's how you do it? That's amazing! And on the other note, Riot Games developers aren't stupid at all, no. Oh, and cooldown is of course an astronomical number. And the cherry on top, this champion is not building CDR. Like god damn. Still wondering why Mordekaiser is not popular and especially in pro play? Yeah, no idea, really. So, listen up. Here are my dumb idiot changes. Firstly, now it can be countered only by Morgana and other spell shield effects such as Fiora Parry. Second, and I cannot stress this enough, it cannot be dispelled anymore, nor it can just disappear for zero reason from unstoppable effects. And if you disagree, let me remind you something in case you forgot. He is a melee champion with 0 mobility and no hard CC, and therefore he should not be countered by one cheap item or a fucking orange. You feel me? Jesus, this rework, man. Third, since you are in his death realm that he can control, your towers are now, get this, shooting you instead. Since it's his towers in his death realm, gosh darn it. But, let's be reasonable here, only for like 20% damage. And actually, fuck it. For it to make sense, all towers, yours included, will do only 20% damage now. But to compensate it, they will shoot necrotic bolts or whatever the hell undead bullshit name that will slow by 30% for 1 second and put anti-heal debuff on the enemy. Well, to be honest, I'd argue with you that it is busted perhaps. But after the rework of this particular gummy bear, you all should probably reconsider opening your pie hole. This champion has mobility, hard CC and shit tons of self-heal, by the way. So yeah, for 7 seconds towers are now shooting you, my guy. End of story.
Over $1,300,000,300,000,000.
And speaking of making sense, just like in the logic with towers, he can now move freely through anything while his ultimate is online. And of course, even attack you while doing so. Oh, what's this? 2 OP? Wait, what is this champion?
Remember me, motherfucker?
Hello? Oh, what's this cooldown? Like 0? Yeah, ok. So yes, Mordekaiser, the Death Lord, should move freely in his own death realm that he can control, like dumbasses who made this rework can control their arms or legs, but not brains apparently. And if the ultimate fades while you're still in the wall, it will work the same way as, yet again, the main of every turbo weeaboo in the universe, this boy band edgy clown, who also may or may not be a homosexual. But wait, actually there is even more. The grand finale of this change. Because gaining just numbers is always boring and stupid, every bonus given by the ultimate except for his size, which is now scaling by the way, because why the heck no, is now gone. Since, you see, I'm a strict believer of this mantra, that if you're giving me something, give me new and improved gameplay. Like imagine if Udyr's improved skills would give him bonus 10% damage only, and not all of this shit in addition. Yeah, pretty lame, isn't it? And so instead, once you land your metallic foot into the death realm, every other ability of yours is now enhanced. Q will now be slightly bigger and will leave aftershocks that will do 50% of the main damage. Hey, remember this dumbass movie with crazy Russian guy fixing space shuttles like this and Bruce Willis before the dementia? Yeah, something like this, but after 1 second in the place you've landed your mace, and also in like 600 range around it. Oh, and cooldown will be minus 20% because spamming Q is fun, and because I said so. Now W, your shield generation is further increased by 10% from your damage. Additionally, your armor scaling and tenacity bonuses are now doubled, so he would truly feel unbreakable with half HP gigantic shields. Yet again, Serpent's Fang exists, my dude. Now E will be a turbo improved version. Now listen, E is now 20% faster, has 10% farther reach, and is now actually a cone, like Syndra E but backwards. So it truly will be
nice cock. I'll keep it.
Kind of bullshit. Oh right, almost forgot. Your passive will now proc from 2 hits instead of 3, and also heal you for 30% of the damage done by the Metal Aura. These bonuses given by the ultimate will persist even after returning to the real world for 5, 10, 15 seconds depending on the ultimate level, plus 50% of the respawn timer if target is killed inside the death realm. And if you'll kill the target of your ultimate within those 5, 10, 15 seconds, even after it fades, you will still receive that 50% of the respawn timer bonus. Because, let me tell you, That thing about that you have to time your ultimate perfectly for the kill to get the bonus stats on zero burst tank champion is absolutely moronic monkey bullshit. Maybe the most idiotic thing about Mordekaiser. And now, just press R instantly or whenever you'll need it. And don't worry fam, you'll have plenty of time for those juicy death bonuses. Also, now Mordekaiser will have an ability to leave the Death Realm preemptively after 2 seconds by pressing R, or even stay in it a little longer for the rest of the duration, even after killing his target. Because sometimes it is a very good idea to move somewhere else before appearing in the center of 4 enemies with 0 HP. You know? You feel me? Don't forget that now he can move through walls in the Death World. Oh, and another example why this change is because I wanna add a little bit more skill to this champion. And so now you can just wait for the enemy to drop their massive spells and just teleport back to the reality, leaving those spells behind. I mean, now you can just straight up run away from gank with it, or even abandon your plans entirely because your team is getting slaughtered in the outside world and they need their tank. And also it's because as an all-powerful necromancer death lord, he maybe should be able to do it. No idea why we can see him inside of his realm, by the way. This part makes legit 0 sense. There should always be a surprise just where is he going to appear from. So yet again, you won't be swarmed by 4 enemies once it's over. And yeah, I think that's about it. So TLDR. On top of everything else, passive is now shredding MR. Q does more AoE, less isolated damage. Once maxed, it's always smacking champions for extra damage. And that extra damage gives additional potential shield to your W. Speaking of which, healing is nerfed to 20%, but shield generation increased by 15%. In addition, when shield is on you, you are gaining shit tons of tenacity. And also you are gaining permanent armor from each slain enemy, which will come handy because shield is now scaling with armor. As for him, the cooldown is slightly different to make it better later on, and MR shredding passive is now gone. Now the ultimate. Rejoice, common sense enjoyers! This mega embarrassing bullshit about Q's and unstoppable effects is now null and void. And while you're inside the Death World, except for Fountain, every single damaging structure, yes, Azir Tower included, is friendly to you. Oh, and outside Anivia W, you also can move through walls. Because yet again, he should be able to control his own Death World. Gosh darn it. Additionally, now, stupid bonus stats are gone, and instead, all of your other abilities are now kinda busted. Passive is now healing and activating from 2 hits instead of 3. Q is bigger, has more CDR, and is hitting the second time after a short delay for 50% damage. W shield generation is slightly increased, and tenacity plus armor scaling bonuses are now doubled, and E is faster and lengthier and is a cone. And in addition to all of that stupid bullshit, here is some more. After leaving your ultimate, your abilities are still enhanced for the short period of time. And if you kill your target inside the ultimate, or even within this said short period of time, you will receive 50% of your initial target's death timer added to uptime of your enhanced abilities. And also your ultimate is not ending after your target dies, but now you can just leave manually by pressing R, or just stay the full duration. And yeah, that's all. The end.
True international effort to pressure.
So, what do you guys think? Is this okay? Is this cringe? Am I cringe?
Don't answer that.
Will I ever see the day of Berserk ending or Claymore Season 2? Why am I even doing my fantasy bullshit rework videos that nobody cares about? Well, the last one I can actually answer is because in my sick brain I actually wanna see every champion in this game shine. When you're opening the roster before the match and like, Jesus, so many good picks, wanna play them all, but unfortunately have to choose just one, instead of, this champion looks good, but his gameplay sucks some gigantic ass. And he's actually looking very good. He's actually maybe the coolest looking boss enemy-like champion in my opinion.
Did you just laugh at me? Do I amuse you? Am I some sort of No, clown to you? I hate my job.
But his gameplay. The first time I was playing him after the rework, I legit could not believe what I'm seeing. Is this how you massacred my boy? Old Mordekaiser could get away with 0 mobility and no CC because he had not 2, not 3, but 4 damaging abilities, my dude. With full AP he could actually burst you down in like 2 seconds even. But this one? I legit have no idea what kind of garbage is inside of your monkey brains when you think that this is fine and especially fun to play. This champion has legit nothing to put on the table in the majority of situations, and they even made him scaling, so you're becoming maybe useful at level 12 plus. My guy, some games are ending before level 12. I mean, do you remember this game? All of the playable characters in this game are actually enjoyable to use. All of them have unique purposes and mechanics. Never ever I thought about that I won't use this or that guy because he sucks. And why cannot League be like this again? I mean, I know for a fact that they do not lack funding to fix shit. So why the hell some champions are turbo busted and at the same time fun to play? And some are in this forever hellhole with buggy clownish abilities. He should be super scary mid to late game is what I'm saying. Like legit just walk into you and smash you into atoms kind of champion. Because may I remind you, no hard CC, no mobility, easily kiteable melee piece of shit. Like this is what he should be like.
Destruction unchained! Bow before your damnation! All souls are forfeit.
Jesus Christ, man. Almost did a president in the Vatican kind of thing. But instead we are having more of these.
It's me, your worst nightmare. Boo.
Oh my god.
Yeah, sure you are, bro. Sure you are. And before I'll hear something like, "Bok bok bok, Riot Games knows better. It is like this for a reason, bok bok." Hey, Buster. Let me remind you that Riot, as of right now, shipped the PBA bug with insta-surrender on live servers. Not to mention all of these.
So after that delay, Arena was finally launched on the live servers. But as always, it didn't go smoothly. In fact, as usual, it was just a disaster. The lobby, instead of having 4 teams with 2 players, was just a 5v3. Interface all glitched out, people on the same team being on the opposite side. Very shortly after the launch, Arena got disabled, and as a bonus we also got ranked queues disabled on EU West. In the meantime, the client was absolutely dying. Here's me trying to click literally anything, but not being able to click most of the things.
And that's just a drop in the ocean, my dude. I can actually go on and on about this shit. So no, sorry, but I do not believe that they always know better. And some reworks should be reworked again. End of story. Whatever. Ultimately, I'm just having fun making my stupid videos. And I won't stop until I'll make my goofy mini reworks for every champion with the dumbest videos such as these. And yeah, that's about it. If you at least somehow liked what you saw, consider doing the right thing and pressing this bullshit. And maybe even, God forbid, maybe even that bullshit. So in like 10 years I'll hit the monetization goal. Well anyway, thanks for watching, kings and queens, and I also stream sometimes, so do whatever you want with this information, and until next time, sayonara.
What is happening, guys? What?
Dude, I just reread his story and his mace is actually called Nightfall. Totally unintentional. Memes are writing themselves at this point.